Welcome everybody to NFT Intel, where we bring you the best intel on the hottest drops for the upcoming weeks every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern. And I'm here with Sol Dozer and Paul C. from the Sol Army Project Intel. Thanks for joining us, guys. How are you feeling this week?
Great, Kris. Thanks for having us as always.
Team effort, man. We couldn't do this without everybody popping in. I mean, for those of you who don't know, we pregame this for about a half an hour and go over all of the intel that we've compiled throughout the week. We got a couple. Got a gameplay, we've got an IP play, and we've got kind of an education play today to talk about. I don't know if for all you regular viewers, if you've been listening to us, I'm not to toot our own horn, but we got some good calls going on in the last few weeks that are actually up in floor price. What are we going to talk about first today, gentlemen?
First one up today, I think, is
All you, Paul.
Ooze. All right.
Ooze. All right. What is
okay.
what is
I
Ooze?
assume you guys can hear me, hey?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you. We got you.
Okay, yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah,
Okay,
Ooze. So Ooze, we'll just lay down the key info first, get that out of the way. Minting October 7th on Magic Eden Launchpad. You can mint with either 1 SOL or 66 IP3, which is the token from that crypto ecosystem, which we touched on a few weeks ago. The supply is 9,999, and they'll come in first as unrevealed, and then you'll have to pay 135 IP3 token to 135 IP3 token to get your Ooze revealed. So Ooze is the second project coming from Crypto and IPX, that collaboration that launched Wade, or those Wade FNF passes, which we were discussing a few weeks ago. And actually these Wade holders and these Wade passes that we were talking about get 2 guaranteed Ooze mints. So Ooze their background is they're misfits that escape the Friends universe to find their soul mates. It is my understanding there's going to be another mint for the mates. And these characters are curated from the original 3D engine developed by IPX. And these 9 characters, which make up this Ooze mint, were chosen to lead the community-driven and IPX-based IP business. The Friends app, which is naturally an app that comes from this business, will be launched soon, and there's already a beta version on the Google Play Store, which is a self-generating IP app, which will allow people to mint their own characters, which are uniquely customized by each user, allowing you to have your own customizable and personally identifiable avatars. These Ooze holders will get airdropped different versions of their Ooze and get raffle access to the OG Line Friends NFTs, which was the project before it was rebranded to IPX. You also will get naturally full commercial rights to your NFT. And since the Ooze mint is part of the IPX and community collaboration of this IP business, the Ooze NFTs will also get benefit sharing from the business, which is essentially revenue sharing. And naturally, as always, these Ooze NFTs are super cute, so, they'll probably do reasonably well just off of that alone.
Yeah, they're super cute.
I mean, what else?
Good. They look like something people would want to put on their profile picture. That's
why else would you?
That goes a long way.
Yeah. Why else would you want to mint an NFT whether you really like the art? ABCs, looking at you. So
yeah, utility.
Yeah, this is really interesting because you're going to be able to mint on Magic Eden with SOL or their IP3 token. How does one get IP3 token?
I think they have a liquidity pool open right now. 66 IP3, which is the mint price, is the equivalent of also about 1 SOL. So it doesn't seem like there's an option to pay more or less. I don't know why you would want to pay more, other than to have the opportunity to mint. There's no option to pay more or less than 1 SOL right now, since 66 IP3 is about the same as 1 SOL. I'm not sure.
And Magic Eden's facilitating that IP3 mint. apparently, right? Like, so they're gonna actually open up. I know that they did a test of minting in Dust earlier. I'm I'm kind of bullish on anything that comes from crypto right now. Wade exceeded expectations. If you hold a worldwide Wade NFT, you actually get 2 guaranteed mints for Ooze, I believe.
That's huge. If Wade
Yeah,
can
this
keep up
week.
with that,
Was that Paul?
Yeah, this week is super interesting. There's a lot of really high tier projects, in my opinion. I feel like we've come a long way in terms of project quality with this stuff and collaboration and everything. So this is just another one that we can speak to that. Like all three of these ones today definitely are super interesting. Yeah, I mean, can't go wrong. I don't think.
No, I don't. I don't think so either. So if you're able to have if you have a waiter on the white list, I think that this is a pretty good call. There seems to be enough interest, and especially now what we're not going to get into at this moment. Maybe if we have some time, we can talk about it a little bit later. But that's actually Magic Eden opening up to ETH. And I think that there's a lot of changes that are going to come to the Sol ecosystem, particularly in the available liquidity that's dumped in here, since everybody's going to a platform that is using both Sol and ETH. So October 7th. I put second. That, like, I changed it from I changed this from a 2, and I didn't quite. Yeah, I didn't quite get all the way there, so I'm gonna take that off. It's October 7th for 1 Sol on the Magic Eden launchpad. Supply is 9,999. Just so you all know, you can either pop in the chat or head up the Project Intel Spaces. Are we doing a Spaces tonight, Paul?
We sure are. It's
Okay.
scheduled in there.
Excellent. Hit up twitter.com Project Intel, where we go part 2 of NFT Intel. You can ask us questions directly, and we can talk a little bit more about what's happening in the ecosystem. Dozer, you want to take us into our next project?
sure, Chris. Yeah, next project. It's called Trog, Trogg, Trog. That's minting in tomorrow, October 4th. Cost 1.11 Sol. So Trog, they're looking to become the leading platform for learning on Solana. That's with their website and their main product Endaze, Endaze, Endaze.gg. So they're looking to be a Web3 community-driven learning platform, and they're creating bi-weekly or monthly subscriptions. Again, that's so that people can learn, and it looks like they're putting some cute art with that as well. So learn and a cool PFP. If you are a holder of the TROGG NFT, you get free access to their platform. Outsiders who don't hold need to pay either Sol or USDC to access it. Then within Endaze itself, so within TROGG's main product, there's a few other ways to bring value to the NFT. And that is, you can either become a teacher, essentially. So they're paying you to help teach their subscribers. The amount of traction and the amount of customers that you bring onto their website, you get a cut of it. I'm not sure exactly what the split is, but I'm sure they'll come up with something clever there. And then also there's a referral program system. So if you're not interested in becoming a teacher, this isn't anything new, but it's cool that they're adding it to Endaze. If you refer, I'm assuming students, if you refer students, you would get a cut of that as well. So Endaze is actually live right now. You can go check it out. People are able to access it right now for free, essentially just to check it out leading up to their mint tomorrow. So go look at it, kind of gauge for yourself what you think of it. Think you would use it yourself, and it might be a good investment. Not financial advice though. After the mint, only Trog holders will have access to it. They're down the road they're going to integrate some kind of like streaming services, community gated content. They have a whole bunch of other things that you can't see on their website right now that they plan on adding down the line. So overall, it seems like they have a pretty strong infrastructure to enable education. Trying to bring together people who want to learn and people who want to teach, and create a common place for them to join together. Which, I mean, there's huge value there. Even in Web 2, there's so much value in education. Again, the NFT, so from an investor standpoint, the NFT gives you access to all of this. It'll be step one in sort of the Trog universe and in days. So that's Trog.
So it's a platform that, like, someone like me, a content creator, anybody who has a camera, somebody who has some knowledge, it looks to me like it's a platform where you can, if you belong to it, you can upload. Let me see, what did it say here? That you can go ahead and be an educator on their channel, and earn from the work that that you want to educate people with. Of course, I'm not going to do it because I have our Exodus YouTube channel here that people can access for free. But I know in the Sol Army there's a Sol Academy. So is this kind of a similar? Is this a similar vibe with a different font?
Well, Sol Academy definitely hits home for me, since I work on that too within the Sol Army. I mean, I hate saying yes and no, but the Sol Academy, again, like you said, was sort of our educational branch, and still is our educational branch within the Sol Army. They're taking the NFT approach, sort of creating a double-sided value for a holder and for a learner. We focused more on just teaching. There was a core group of us that we were the ones teaching. We didn't want to set up to allow others to come in. There's huge risks there with allowing people to come in and sort of teach their own thing. So we were the teachers. We brought on a very limited number of teachers that we wanted to really control sort of the content that was going out. But it seems like Trog is trying to broaden the spectrum of content that learners will be able to access.
So there's a critique at the end of the show notes here for Trog. Was this you, Paul?
Yeah. I mean, I'm the one that made the show notes. Yeah, I guess this is my critique of the Trog idea. I totally forgot about this. Well, first thing I'll say what I really like about it. One of the big things with utility plays like this is, why should I accumulate multiple Trogs or multiple insert whatever NFT you want? So I went in the Discord and I asked, and then I found out that if you accumulate multiple Trogs, they have different breakdowns for how much revenue share you get as a content creator. So the more Trogs you get, the more revenue share you get from your work, which is fair enough and really good. The critique I have of this entire system and education in general is that people in this space are degens, and I feel like people have a little bit of a hard time wanting to sit down. And when I say people, I'm going to say the vast majority of people have a hard time sitting down and wanting to educate themselves. People that are tuning into streams and listening and learning and stuff like that, this is a great platform for. But we tried this with Sol Academy in particular, and one of the biggest barriers to entry is just people are not interested in learning about safety fundamentals and stuff like that. They're essentially just wanting to go to the casino, which is, a personal choice, but I think that'll be one of the shortcomings here. But with the diversity and ability to create content on your own and have different people creating different content, I think they can definitely create content that would appeal to that certain demographic and then be successful in that regard. But that was just one of the limitations or critiques that I thought of.
Yeah, and I tend to, I've been doing this a long time, and education is always high on the list, because if you have a better educated user, they're going to have a better time on your platform. They're going to understand what's happening. However, as we bring masses into the ecosystem over the next 10 years, then when I say masses, that's a capital M. In fact, they're all capitals, because we're going to see a massive influx of people into this space in the next few years as it becomes more accessible. And part of that accessibility is not only the availability for education, but also to have things that are actually easy to use if they don't want to. Like you said, people just want to sit down and play poker, or they want to, buy something on Magic Eden. It doesn't take it. You don't have to have a PhD to buy an NFT on Magic Eden, or even mint one on something else. You don't have to have any coding skills. You could just be a normal person. But our education comes from like knowing what types of security, how robust our security is. How do we spot scams, right? That's, as more people are going to come in, scams are even going to get more prevalent. So having education about how we can spot scams, and also building products that help people stay away from scams or not get hit like that. So it'll be interesting to see, for me, what type of content they'll end up putting on their site. And I'm gonna, after we do the show, I'm gonna log into it and check out what the services are. But all in all, I agree. It's not necessarily a new breakthrough concept, but it's somebody trying something to help the community out, and what better serves people will better serve us all in the entire ecosystem.
Yeah, and I want to just clarify, that's not a critique on Trog at all.
Right.
It's a critique on the maturity of the space.
Right.
So no beef
good.
with Trog. Yeah, just wanted to clarify that, just in case there's people that are bullish on Trog and interpret that the wrong way. I just think in general, people are not seeking to educate themselves like they should.
All right, so up on the
and
screen.
That's another thing that you've pulled up here. Sorry, I do want to touch on the fact that
absolutely
big shout out that it's getting launched on Hyperspace launchpad. We have really good relationships with that team, and it's great to see them launching projects as well.
It is, and they're becoming Hyperspace. For you guys that don't know, Hyperspace is a market aggregator. So if you think Magic Eden, but you get you get listings from Coral Cube and Magic Eden and Hyperspace native. They've also incorporated a launchpad. They've been doing a lot to actually bring their launchpad forward, so regular people, when they visit the site, can find it. It is good to see that there are other launch pads that are actually doing some good mints and not, giving everything to Magic Eden, which doesn't guarantee that you're going to have a good mint. It just is probably the biggest way to get eyes on your project. So all three phases tomorrow in 20 hours and 30 minutes from now for the TROGG listed guaranteed. It doesn't say how many are whitelisted, max 1 token. Public is 23 hours and 30 minutes on the Hyperspace Launchpad. You can find the link to this in the description, in the show description below. So don't miss that. That's tomorrow, 7,171 supply. And the next project I wanted to bring up here, I'll take this next one. It is called Flaskies. Interesting name. Key info for Flaskies is that it is minting October 6th. It's got a 10,000 supply, and the cost of the mint is going to be 1.3 to 1.5 SOL. This project has a ton, and when I say a ton, it has a ton of hype. It has a ton of hype to it. So there's 22,000 people in the Discord. the launch pads, it's launching on TrustPad's launchpad. They've had a couple really good successes. They did DF don't F with felines. There was one a couple weeks ago that did really well on Trust Labs. I know that they have mints coming out until the end of the month. It's really great to see other launch pads having success in this ecosystem. So Flaskies is launching on Trust Labs. Basically, they're building a community that will grant you basically airdrops, lotteries, but that's not it. Flaskies is developing what they don't call a metaverse. They're calling it Flask Planet, which is going to be a 2D gaming platform. After this Flaskies mint, you will get airdropped a lab, which you can then stake your Flasky in and earn FLSK, which is their token that you can use to play on Flask Planet. There's a lot of stigma in metaverse plays. I was on an AMA the other day and listened to Web3 Baller, the project founder, and there's a lot of stigma in metaverse. It's not a metaverse. It's a 2D gaming platform. They will have some stuff. I think that will be able to be played soon, but it's going to be, if you're into minting Flaskies, you're going to be in for kind of a long haul here. Just a real quick, Trust Labs is trustlabs.app is where the launchpad is going to be held. So that's going to be October 6th, 1.35, 1.3 to 1.35 SOL. Supply is 10,000. And we were talking pregame, and I was like, yeah, Web3. Somebody asked in the AMA, okay, hey, why did you do this? And one of the project founders says, well, I came out of Doodles, and we were trying to come up with something that was a bit more sticky. So that was actually a really bullish call on that. So if they've got good history, they've got some what looks like a good game, and they're also pretty cute. They're also doing a prepay, which is incorporated into the CrowdSurf platform. So CrowdSurf offers you an option to prepay. The way that works is that when you're eligible for a prepay and your time comes up, you can go ahead and prepay for however many mints you're allowed, or however many NFTs you're allowed. There's no waiting in line. You just do it, you put it away, and then on the day of the mint, after the project is minted out, they will airdrop you your NFTs. This is the first, I think it's one of the first projects outside of the actual crowdsurfers that the crowdsurf platform has done for another project. The only drawback to that is that if the market is going to be moving while you're waiting for your airdrop, so it could end up being a little more anxiety ridden as you're watching the price fluctuate. You guys got any thoughts on Flaskies before we run through the horizon in the next 5 minutes?
No, not too many. I mean, it's pretty cool that they're launching on CrowdSurf. Oh, I think.
Well, they're doing the prepay on CrowdSurf.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
The prepay on CrowdSurf, which I will, not to toot our own horn again, we did talk about that one on NFT Intel a few weeks ago as well.
Yeah,
I believe.
Yes,
I think we did. Yes, we did.
And they had a working product right out of the door, so it was actually really good to.
They did that CrowdSurf investor score. Yeah, that's an awesome one as well. But I think we can move into the horizon. Right. Pretty similar to last week, but just a little follow-up reminders on which ones we're looking at. You guys can feel free to add as you want. But some of the ones that are on the horizon are Sources, which seems to be a brand play coming up. The Elixir Nectars, and then they'll also have a 10K collection down the road, which is basically a protocol which helps improve the liquidity of NFTs with that FAMM. So very similar and a competitor to HadesSwap with some other features as well, like the ability to long and short NFTs. In addition to that, we have Coinable coming up on October 13th. So that one will probably be in NFT Intel next week. That one is a payment solution. Think the Stripe of Web3, very similar to Helio Pay, which minted, I believe, 2 weeks ago and had a pretty strong mint. And then the last one that we've got for the horizon today is Lunar, which comes to you from the team that is OpenDAO on ETH that launched that SOS airdrop and a variety of other projects on Ethereum and is now over on Solana. Anything else for you guys?
Yes. Project Intel live spaces on Twitter in literally 3 minutes. Once we get over there, there seems to be a lot of mints that are happening here. A lot of really good mints, actually. And Dozer, 2 weeks ago, you were like, I'm really bullish on the next couple months. And we're like, okay. And as we see, always, this is not financial advice ever here. We're just giving you information for you to go do your own research. And you can go ahead and pop down in the description there. You can actually get links to all of the projects. Also, make sure you download your Exodus Web3 wallet. We got 4 assets, almost. Well, 3 assets. Algorand. Polygon is coming next week. So we'll have 4 assets in the Exodus Web3 wallet. So it's kind of your one-stop shop for DeFi and 24/7 human support from blockchain experts. So go to exodus.com/web3 wallet and look at that. And also, guys, just again, pop on Twitter, head over to Project Intel, set your reminder. We're all going to be on live spaces. You can ask us questions about any of these. Really quick to recap, we got Trog tomorrow, 1.1 Sol on Hyperspace. We have, I am missing one of these here. So Trogg's tomorrow. We have Ooze on October 7th. It should be October 7th for 1 Sol.
Yeah,
supply 9,999 on Magic Eden. And on October 6th, 1.3 to 1.5 Sol, Flaskies supply 10,000 on the Trust Labs launchpad. Man, that is a lot to fit into 30 minutes. Any final thoughts before we sign off and head over to Twitter, guys?
That's a lot to fit in 30 minutes, and that's a lot of mints to fit in over the next week, too. You're going to need a lot of liquidity to get through these mints.
For real. And they just keep coming. October is looking stacked, and we'll have to keep bringing in the NFT Intel. But it's looking like a solid month ahead, pending market conditions, we'll say.
Ooh, I see we got some chat. We got some chats. We got some chats in the chat. Exodus is there chatting, but we can all go live on Project Intel Twitter for our Twitter spaces. Again, thank you. We come at you every Monday. We appreciate you being here. And if you have any comments, please drop them below in the chats. Tell all your friends about NFT Intel, and remember to like and subscribe.